everybody, I'm Mama Baird and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I have another food bank haul for you. Now this is our local food bank. We're allowed to come once a day if you need to. I like to go once to twice a week. So thanks for coming along and seeing what I got in my haul today. We are a family of 6, so we were allowed limits of 2, sometimes unlimited depending what they had. The only unlimited item this week was bread. Lots and lots of bread, as per usual. But they had lots of good stuff this week, so let's get in this haul and let's see what I got. Hi, if you're new here, I'm Carolina and I live in Montana. I do a lot of food bank hauls, pantry cooking, and canning and preserving on my channel. If that's the kind of content you're into, I hope you'd consider subscribing. I'd love to have you come join me in the kitchen. All right, let's get into this haul and let's see what I got. I'm gonna start with the produce this week. Produce this week. I got a big bag of apples. Some of these apples are huge. Look at this. Ooh, I got the hiccups. Almost as big as my face. And then there's 2 tomatoes down there for, Miss Betty Jan. Gotta have the tomatoes for her. So a huge bag of apples. I am planning on cooking up some of my butternut squash that I have and making a butternut squash soup. And apples and butternut squash go great together in the soup. So I was happy to see these apples because I'm going to be throwing them into the soup. And then they had big old things of blueberries. So I got one thing of blueberries. Some of them do have a little bit of mold. Can you see that? A little bit of mold on them, but I just see like 2 berries with mold on it. So not very bad at all. One of them's kind of squished. So this is going to be very easy to pick through when I'm washing them to pick out the good ones versus the moldy ones. And any moldy ones that go to the chickens, they will not be complaining whatsoever. And then they had lots of potatoes and onions, so I was able to grab 5 Idaho potatoes and 3 good sized onions. And then for the dairy, they had 1% milk, so I got 2 half gallons of 1% milk. They had flour this week, so I got 1 bag of flour. This is 1.5 pounds, and it's the Wheat Montana flour, so it's really good, not bleached. Like you can see bits of like the wheat grain in there. So this is good flour. And then for the general pantry items, they had lots of new things this week. Like this beef stew is new. Usually I see the beef stew in the packs, kind of like this chicken, but it's in a pack, right? I got 2 things of this chicken, by the way. And this week they had it in this can. So I grabbed 2 of these. This is my favorite brand of tomatoes. Not that I could pronounce it. Murglen, I'm going to say. And I don't know, I just think it's a real good, wholesome taste. So anytime they have this brand at the food bank, I grab it no matter what it is because I will use it. So I got 2 tomato sauces, a petite diced tomato, and then just regular diced tomatoes. Went ahead and grabbed 4 cans of tomato soup because I use this a lot in mac and cheese. I'll make a boxed mac and cheese, add this and some ground beef. Bam, you have a chili mac. So I grabbed 4 cans of those because I was using all of those up. And then they had some new soups, tomato basil bisque by Mr. Wolfgang Puck. So that looks really good. So I grabbed that. And then they had this creamy butternut squash soup. And I love butternut squash soup. So even though I'm about to make some more, I still grabbed this because it's always good to have this on your shelf. And this is still in date until December. It's just because this got opened that they had to donate it. But still perfectly good soup inside. And then for the meats, the first big score was all this chicken breast. This is a little over 3 pounds, and it was looks like 3 or 4 giant breasts. So this is going to be very nice to help stretch and make some meals out of. So I'm always happy to grab chicken. Chicken is one of the most versatile pieces of meat you can use. So I'm happy to get chicken. And then they did have some USDA choice beef chuck neck bones. Now I am planning on making some bone broth, some beef broth myself. I have a couple that I've been saving up on anytime I see neck bones or I have a beef bone of my own that I need to save. Then I've been saving them in the freezer to make a batch of beef broth. So I was happy to see this neck bone, grabbed it. And then some beef sirloin, top sirloin. And this is almost 3/4 of a pound. So this is something that I could either cook for husband on a special day and make it for him, or this is one where you can slice this up really thin and make like steak fajitas, add some onions and some bell peppers, and oh, that sounds so good now. Maybe put it on a tortilla, and then that way you can extend one steak for the whole family. And then in the extra freezer, they had a bunch of deli hot food that was left over, and this one is spaghetti and meatballs. So this is $6.99 a pound. This is almost 3 pounds, so that means this thing is $20 for spaghetti and meatballs. It's frozen, so I think I'm going to thaw it. Now I know this would probably be enough to feed maybe my 3 kids for lunch, but I'm gonna see if I can extend this some way to feed all of my family members. But yeah, so a big bag of frozen spaghetti and meatballs. We had these calitas. I can't say anything in the can. I put an extra L on there. Canlitas? Can is probably sugar. Cane. Oh, it's probably cane then, not can. Wow. Canelitas maybe? But they look pretty good. So I got a pack. It has 8 packs that have 6 in them, so each kid gets 2 cookies, so that works. And then they also had this shortbread cookies in the extra bin by the Bimbo company. They have a pretty good cookies. I mean, not pretty good ingredients, but the cookies are pretty good. Shortbread orange cookies. Those sound really good. I'll probably end up giving those to husband. All right, and finally for all the breads, I was able to grab these kind of like sub rolls. I think they were French bread cut in half. They look pretty good. Pretty soft stuff. Maybe make some really good sandwiches. And then they had more of this blueberry muffin bread. Guys, this stuff's so good. Never heard of it, but there's little actually pieces of blueberry in the bread. Like, this is delectable. So I was happy to see this again. This is Grandma Sycamore's brand. And then some whole wheat, lots of Sara Lee whole wheats there. They had tons of hot dog and hamburger buns, like in a giant watermelon bin. So I grabbed 2 of the whole wheat hamburger buns. These are nice to just make like bologna sandwiches or peanut butter and jellies for the kids. And it's kind of round, so it's something new. And it fits the piece of bologna fine, you know. And then for the last bread, they same for this Grandma Sycamore. This is sunflower and honey bread. So that sounded pretty good. I couldn't smell this one, but it looks really good. So I was able to grab one of those. So lots of bread this week, but I am looking forward to seeing how I can utilize them. And that is all that I got in my haul this week, but don't you go nowhere because I am going to be cooking us up some grub, and I'd love for you to come see what I whip up. So don't you click that mouse. I'll be right back. All right, guys, got my apron on. We're gonna get to cooking. What I'm going to do is heat up this leftover spaghetti and meatballs. Let's look at it. Let's see what we're dealing with here. Ugh. It's drippily. Drippily, is that a word? The English language always needs new words, right? And then I'm gonna use these and I'm gonna do kind of like cut them in half. I'm gonna make my own little garlic spread with some butter. We're gonna toast them and then we're gonna put the spaghetti meatballs inside and let's see if we can make it edible for the kids without making a big mess because it's lunchtime and they're hungry. So let's get in here and let's get to cooking. All right, let's get our stove on first. Let's get this opened up. Now you could just microwave this as well. Man, whoever put that sticker on did a great job. Wow, that's a lot. Shoot, it's more than I thought. Well, I'm probably gonna have to save some of this for later. Because it's just me and the kids right now. Wow, look at all that though. So that's gonna get us a lot of portions here. All right, so we're gonna get this heating up. I have a little can of tomato soup that I got in kid lunches I get from the food bank. I think I'm going to add that to this just to kind of stretch it out. I also don't see a single meatball. All I see is spaghetti, so that's interesting. All right, let's close this up. So for these, let's do 2 of them. So it's just like hoagie rolls cut in half here. So I'm gonna cut these all the way in half. because I'm just going to give the kids one. And then we're going to scoop out some of the bread. Now, I might just use garlic powder for this. I think that's what I'm gonna do. Oh, bread, you can make stuffing with it. Might give mine to the chickens. Oh, I almost got a hole in it. That's not good. Let's redo this one. Okay, so since I took the hole out, I think I'm just going to use some canola oil here and spray it. Probably not ideal. And then, yeah, garlic powder. And then I'm going to do a sprinkle of salt. So make kind of like a garlic bread, and we're gonna put this in my toaster oven here. Get those a toasting. Now let's focus on this spaghetti sauce some more. Oh, this tomato soup's already ready to eat. Oh, it says that right there, ready to serve doy. Doy, Carolina. Well, that's pretty cool. We have one that you just have to heat up and eat. You don't have to worry about it. Oh yeah, that was the perfect size too. It made a big difference. Now it's a little more soupy, spaghetti-y. Is that a word? I'm gonna put just a little bit of basil in it. Just to kind of help with that tomato soup that I put in there. Alright, these are out of the oven. They're slightly toasted, not too much though. And then we'll put this on here. I don't know, guys, this seems a little messy. Has anybody else done this before? The kids are probably gonna be like, I just want a bowl of spaghetti. But hey, it's fun to dress stuff up every once in a while, even for the kids. It gets them used to trying new things. And then I'm just gonna sprinkle some Parmesan. And then some mozzarella. Alright, and then this going back in the toaster. And they are ready. Rooster crowing competition out there. Alright, let's give this a bite. That's really good. I like the garlic on the bread. Interesting. I don't know if you could eat it sub-style. I guess you could pick it up. Take one bite out of each, kids. Slurpee noodle. That's good though. I always like to call the bite a preparation tax for making it for them. That was really good. It looks like you can eat it fork and knife or as a little sandwich. I liked hollowing out that bread. I think that made a big difference. Well, thanks for coming along and seeing what I got on my haul this week and how I used it to make some lunch for my kids. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'll catch you next time on Mama Baird's.